Hey y'all. I don't know what to feel right now because yesterday I went to go see my psychoanalyst, you guys. You guys know that I'm in therapy and it's required as part of the PhD program that I'm in. And it's not just my program, but most PhD programs in clinical psychology require that students go to therapy themselves, right? So I'm seeing a psychologist. We have to see a psychologist, by the way, because we're trained to become psychologists, I guess. So the rationale is that we should also go see a psychologist and go to treatment. So y'all, I'm kind of upset because my therapist, she's my therapist. I call her my therapist, my psychologist, my psychoanalyst. I'm gonna tell y'all, like, we had a conversation, y'all, and I'm kind of like figuring, like, how in the hell I keep getting, we keep going back to talking about BDSM. I think she has a fascination with BDSM. She has to, y'all. And by the way, I can't talk very long because I'm like at my school and I'm getting ready to go to my class, but I think she has a fascination with BDSM because she's asking me all these questions about BDSM. And first of all, she get the acronym wrong. She was like, "So what is it called again? BDAM?" I'm like, "Come on, lady. Like that spells what? BDAM? That spells badam. Come on now. Let's stop it. Let's just stop making jokes." I feel like she's trying to like throw little shots, I'm saying about BDSM and the lifestyle, knowing how much I like it, right? She know that I'm fascinated by this lifestyle. And if you guys are a part of the BDSM lifestyle, feel free. Feel free to give a shout out. Feel free to, throw your flags up because we are a strong community. That's how I look at it. It's just like the LGBT community. Some people from the outside just don't understand. And she is a much older lady. She's a white lady in Beverly Hills. And she's been in the field. She's been a psychologist for like over 30 years, like for a while. And y'all, I feel like she get me in a lot of different areas. Like she get the fact, she side with me when it comes to talking about my past relationship and men, but when it comes to talking about this one thing that she know I like, BDSM, she like, she ain't going for it. Like she don't buy it, y'all. And I'm trying to explain to her what it is, and she just ain't having it. And let me tell y'all, I figure I have to come to you guys and do this video because I want to get you guys input on it. Like, let me know what you think about this. But she tells me that I should quit BDSM. She was like, really, I think what you're doing is setting yourself up for failure. Like, she thinks that it's a bad thing that I'm attracted to BDSM. And basically, the aspects of BDSM that I'm attracted to are, being a submissive and being a masochist. I like pain. I get off, on playing in certain types of contexts in a relationship. But I feel like it's hard to put into words. I think the first thing that people think when they hear those kinds of descriptors, they think, oh, this person is like likes abuse, like this person doesn't value themselves, this person has low self-esteem, something is wrong with this person. Like I feel like a lot of people who really don't know much about the lifestyle, they tend to pathologize the lifestyle and the certain behaviors that like it's a kink, it's a fetish, you guys, and people, I feel like they're just not familiar with it. And I want, like, that's why I say I want, if you are a part of the BDSM lifestyle, if you're not afraid, if you feel like you're like out of the closet and you're open about it, feel free to comment below and share your perspective on this topic. But I feel kind of bad, y'all, like, but then again, it's like I don't know, I have mixed feelings. I feel bad because I feel like she's not gonna ever understand it. But at the same time, I feel good because I feel like she has my back. Like I feel like she's looking out for me and my best interests, and my safety essentially. So she's trying to make sure that I am not going to repeat the same thing that I have done before, like in my previous relationship, that was toxic and wasn't necessarily the ideal type of DS relationship. DS standing for dominant slash submissive relationship. So it's a certain dynamic, a certain power exchange type of relationship that two mutually consenting adults agree upon, and they have, And I think that communication is really important when it comes to this lifestyle, and I've done videos on this before. But y'all, she just don't get it. And then she was like, I think that if you continue with this lifestyle, that you basically, she said that I have a death wish, y'all. She told me that unless I'm looking forward to a death wish, that I should really just forget about this lifestyle and go back to the other side. The other side being vanilla. So vanilla is what most of you guys are. You guys don't practice any BDSM fetishes. It's so many different things that make up the BDSM world. It's not just about spankings and bondage, although that's like I think that's a big part of it, but it's so many different aspects to it. And it's really like, I think the difference between BDSM and vanilla relationships is that BDSM is really more intimate. And I feel like there's a whole nother level of trust that you see within BDSM relationships. It's not like your typical relationship. So, like, you have to have trust. I cannot emphasize that enough, right? And I feel like that is important to any relationship, but more specifically to a BDSM relationship, because there's certain things that you're going to be doing, that requires a lot of trust. Y'all remember that game we used to play in school where you stand in front of somebody and you fall back, but you only fall back if you trust a person. It was a game of trust to see how much you can trust a person, right? It's like taking a risk. So just like that game, people, you're not just going to fall back if you don't trust a person, right? You're not going to let your guard down and participate in that kind of activity, that game, if you don't trust the person standing behind you. You ain't going to just fall back. I remember, I don't think I ever did that game and participated. I don't think I ever fell back because the person behind me, like, you have to trust them, and if you don't trust them, whether it's you or them, it don't matter. You have to have trust, It don't matter if the lack of trust is stemming from something that is inherent to you and your past, or has to do with that person's demeanor, their characteristics and personality. It don't matter. It just has to be trust there. So just like that game, in a DS relationship, in a BDSM relationship, and BDSM stands, for you guys who don't know, for starters, it stands for bondage, discipline, sadomasochism. And every time I say that to her, she's like, what? I'm like, how have you not heard of this? How long have you been alive in this planet and you don't know about BDSM? Like, come on. I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like our society has changed so much. So men aren't as dominant as they used to be. Men are taking more of a submissive role. But me as a woman, I like dominant men. Thumbs up, women, if you like a dominant man. You like a man who know how to take control, not just in the bedroom, but outside of the bedroom too. Because I feel like that to me is important. That is the most important thing. A lot of men think that this lifestyle is just about sex. And I feel like that's, I think, part of my struggle. I was having a conversation with somebody online, and this dude commented on one of my videos, and I said initially that dating is complicated, right? I feel like it is. I mean, I'm just being honest. I'm back on the dating scene now, and I feel like, yeah, it is a little challenging. And he's like, oh, dating is not that complicated. I'm like, oh, yes, it is. Because I feel like I have a certain type of interest. I have a certain specific type of guy that I'm interested in. Like regular guys don't turn me on. It has to be a certain kind of guy that turns me on, because I feel like our society has gone so far away from what used to be considered the norm. Now it's like abnormal. It's abnormal for men to be dominant. And I'm not talking about abusive. There is a fine line. And I wrote a fictional story actually to kind of bring this lifestyle to light, to educate people about it, because I think there are a lot of misconceptions. People misinterpret the lifestyle and the people that participate in the lifestyle, and a lot of things just get misconstrued. So the book that I'm talking about is Dying to Submit. You guys can go check it out on my website at danielleleach.com. It's my name. It's my first and last name, danielleleach.com. And it's free. You guys can go check that out. I actually posted it to my website, so you guys can read it after you watch this video. It's very short, but there is a fine line between abuse Sorry, guys. I knew that was gonna happen. There's a fine line between abuse and certain things, certain activities that people who partake in this lifestyle engage in, because the difference is consent. If a person does not want you hitting on them, then you can't just randomly come up and it's all about the person. Usually the submissive gives up a certain degree of power to the dom to make certain decisions. And she's asking me, you guys, she's like, this is my therapist now I'm talking about. She's like, so you really want a guy? You really want to give up your control to a guy? It's like the way she put it, you guys, which made me think. I think it's a good thing that she's challenging me in this respect because it's allowing me to think about some things more critically that I don't know. I don't think I ever thought about it from that perspective. So I think therapy can be a good thing. I'm actually enjoying my experience in the process of therapy that I'm in right now. I'm yesterday was my third session. I have 16 sessions total. So it's like 3 down, 13 more to go. But she reframed it. She said, you really want to sacrifice your control in exchange for a man taking care of you? It's like the way she put it. Because I'm like, I'm like, no, lady, you don't get it. That's not what it is, And I think sometimes we get so caught up in our own line of thinking, in our own selves, that we don't slow down and take a time to see it from a different perspective that actually could be beneficial to us, because we're just so immersed into our own being and our own selves, the way we see things. We don't take time to just take a step aside and look at it from a different perspective. So I say, you know what? Let me let my guard down a little bit and let me just see, if what she's saying could make sense, like if I can benefit from what she's saying. And I thought about it and I'm like, I don't know, what you guys think? I'm like, that's not necessarily how I see it, because it's not about a guy taking care of me, although that is really important, but it's just the way she framed it. She was like, as if it was a bad thing for a guy to take care of a woman. I'm like, that's just what I'm attracted to. But I don't see anything wrong with that. And it's not that I can't take care of myself. Like, I hate to have to keep repeating this because I feel like people just don't get it. So I have to put it in a different way. I think it just provides a sense of security and it like an assurance that allows the submissive to really let her guard down, to really feel like she can trust a man, you know? But I get it. I get where she's coming from because she's coming from a perspective of safety and prevention. Like she figures that certain aspects of this lifestyle can lead a person into getting into some serious trouble. And then she mentioned the whole thing about she like used a metaphor to say it's like your soul, like a soul death, like your soul is dying. You giving your soul to somebody else, and she was like, she had a joke about it. She was like, unless this man is God or Jesus or Buddha, he's perfect. It's like you should not be giving up your control to nobody. You should keep your control. And I think it's something very empowering that about what she said. Although I felt that she was a little bit misattuned to me, and I felt like she wasn't really feeling me or getting me. I think there's something empowering about what she said because she's right. Sometimes I feel like submissives can get so caught up into this lifestyle and they're like, oh, I just want to dom, I want to submit. It's like it turns some people just don't get it. People that are not part of this lifestyle, like they don't get it. They don't understand how a woman or it can be a guy too can like get turned on by just relinquishing their control. It's not to anybody though. It's not like it's just some random person. Like hell no. And I think that's where people get it misunderstood because even on the dating scene, I may say I'm a submissive and then you got men that be like, oh, all right. They think in their head like you submissive. So, all right, send me a naked pic or, send me, like they always have these requests thinking just because a person says they're submissive, then they're just going to automatically submit to their demands and their requests. And when I don't, they like, oh, you ain't no real submissive. You ain't. It's like, dude. You have no idea. Like, you ain't a real dom, because a real dom knows that a real submissive is not going to just submit to anybody. The same standards and rules apply as it would in a vanilla relationship. So you have to, it takes time to build any relationship, whether it's BDSM or if it's vanilla. It takes time. You're not going to just jump into something and automatically just give your trust to somebody on day one, you know? So I think she's kind of a little bit concerned about that. But when I see it from her perspective, I'm like, you know what? She's right. Like, what I'm giving is, she really, having a conversation with her last night in my therapy session kind of alerted me and reminded me that what I'm giving, and I have to be mindful of the time. Okay, I have 12 minutes. But what I'm giving, or what I desire to give to a guy, you know, this potential dom that I have in mind, is something that's very, should be treasured. It's very valuable. You know, so basically, in her having that conversation with me, although she was very, kind of came off as kind of judgy, you know, and preachy, right? What I took away from that is that I should be more careful. Although I'm always careful. Everybody know, like, I'm always taking precautions, but she just heightened my level of security. Like, she just heightened my level of awareness of myself in this lifestyle to be even more careful, you know, and take even more precautions and appreciate this gift of submission that I desire to give even more. To say that I may have had an idea in my mind on what submission is and a certain value that I placed on submission, but having this conversation with her, it heightened the value even more. It made it more valuable, because she's like, so you have an idea to give your power to sacrifice. She used the word sacrifice. And everybody knows a sacrifice is a big deal. You know, anything a person sacrifice is like, is priceless, right? You know, it's invaluable. You know, like, you can't even, it's so, the value is so big, you can't even measure the value of it, you know, when you make a sacrifice. So when she put it in that term and she used that phrase, that wording, you're willing to sacrifice your control to a person in exchange for them like dominating you and taking care of you. And I'm like, damn, am I? Like, am I? I'm like, I thought about, she had me think, I'm like, damn. And then she said, she made a joke. She was like, so what if you can go out here, let's say you were to leave the office tonight, right? Because our session was at night. She's like, you're to leave here tonight and meet a guy, you know, a dom, she said, you know. And I know she saw my face light up. She was like, when she said that, my face lit up. Right after she had gave me a warning about it being a death wish, like, she still, I think she was testing me by saying that, you know, the possibility of me meeting a dom. And I'm just like, hell yeah, you know, I'm open to it. Like, if it's a real dom, it's not just any random person, but I can tell if a man is my type or not, then I'm going to be open to it, you know? And I think what her goal is that she's trying to get me to come away from BDSM. She's trying to get me to just abandon the whole lifestyle and come back to vanilla. And I'm like, I don't think I want to do that. I'm like, she don't know what it means to me. And she's trying to figure me out. She's trying to figure out what purpose does it serve, you know? And she's like, she's thinking it's about a man taking care of me. And I'm like, no, lady, it ain't about a man taking care of me. I don't want a dom for that purpose. Because I don't know if she's seen one of my videos or what, but I think I told her briefly that, yes, these are the things I look for in a guy. And she actually asked a question to me, I think, a couple sessions ago. She was like, so what are some things you look for in a dom, you know, in a man? And I told her, and one of those things obviously was a man who's financially stable. And she was like, yeah, I get it. You know, you don't want nobody who you got to take care of. You want somebody who brings something to the table. And I was like, yeah. And then as I'm saying these things, right, I'm like giving her these list of items that I look for in a person. She's like, she got her pen and pad and she's writing it down. And I'm like, lady, I'm thinking like, damn, what you gonna go do? Go find them for me or something? The way she write it down, she like, okay, what's next? What else you like? And she writing it down. I'm just like, she must be about to go find them. Like, I don't know. I think the whole interaction, the process of therapy can be really exciting, because it's like it's two different people from different worlds coming together. And then this person, you give this, in a sense, it's like I'm giving her power to kind of conceptualize my problems and come up with a solution. And she even said, she was like, so how would you feel if you came in here and I took control over you and, you gave up your power to me and I just told you things and everything to do? How would you feel about that? And I'm looking at her like, lady, you don't know me. It's like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain. But even when she said it that way, I'm looking at her like, that probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Because I like structure. It's not a crime if a person likes structure. Like I like structure. I like when the rules are set and I like consistency, so I think a lot of times in the context of a BDSM relationship, that's what it provides, like when you have a man who has his shit together, number one. He ain't just some random person, but a man who, usually men who are real doms, like they are very successful in their careers. That's the reason why they're dominant. They're not just dominant with the woman, they're dominant in their careers. We talking about CEOs, people who are well established, in society. And of course, with that, like, they have to be organized. They have to discipline themselves. That's how a woman, a smart woman anyway, can identify a real dom. Because if she's looking at this man and he ain't got his shit together and he's not disciplined, how the hell he gonna discipline her? How he gonna have these expectations of her, of what he expects and set these limits if he ain't even got his, she not even organized, How he gonna be able to keep up with another adult, another individual? So I didn't get to hear much from you guys, and sometimes Facebook does not leave you guys' comments below. I don't know what that is about, but I just feel like this, y'all. I'm gonna go because she scheduled me again for Wednesday, so she got me coming to therapy twice a week, and I'm always excited to see what's next. Like, I'm excited to see where this is gonna go. Because sometimes you never know, like, what therapy is going to go, which direction is going to go. So I'm really excited to see which direction it's going to go. I mean, I'm kind of feeling more comfortable with her. I mean, I never felt intimidated by her. I mean, she's a little short lady with a chihuahua and has an office in Beverly Hills. So far it's going pretty good, but I'm kind of struggling with that. I'm just like, don't be sitting here trying to heal me, lady. Don't try to sit up here and try to pathologize BDSM and make me back vanilla, because I don't think it's going to happen. It's not happening. So don't be trying to do that, because I feel like that's what she's trying to do. All right, but let me go ahead and get ready for class. But I'm going to catch you guys later. We can continue this discussion. I have a lot more to say about it. And I feel like the more she's trying to get me to turn away from BDSM, the more interested I get into the lifestyle. I don't know. But at the same time, I ain't gonna lie. When I was coming back home last night, I was thinking about that. I'm like, you know what? She got a point. It's something that I should hold very sacred, even more sacred than I have before, and make sure that the next person, who should be the last person I give this gift of submission to, that if they're worthy of it, put their ass through the test. Essentially, she was just saying, put their ass. You know how, like, women, we get together and we start talking about men. That's kind of like the vibe I have with her. Like, she was just, she's very straightforward. I'm straightforward with her. So she was like, put their ass through the test. You know what I'm saying? Make sure make sure this dude is good. He's worth it. She was like, the average, in the context of a therapy relationship, it takes 2 years to gain a client's trust. She's telling me this. So she was like, imagine how long it would take in a regular relationship. If it takes 2 years, like when you dating somebody, it takes even longer. She was like, sometimes it can be 20 years before a person really feels comfortable enough to really be themselves in a relationship and to really gain someone's trust, because you just don't know nowadays. You can't be just letting your guard down and, you know, especially, I mean, she has a good point. Has a valid point. I'm pretty sure, like, she did her research on BDSM, and of course, when you Google it, it's like the first thing gonna come up. Most like it's gonna be some bad shit, right? It's negative. How most people conceptualize negativity, but it's hard to explain. I'm gonna have to come back and have like a panel discussion where I'm not the only person, so you guys can we can bounce ideas off each other, and you guys can see other perspectives and see that it's not just a one-way type of discussion, but you can see that this is like a real movement, you guys. This is a community of people that advocate for this kind of lifestyle, and it's healthy. They have healthy lives. They're mentally stable. They are gainfully employed. A lot of them are self-employed, have their own businesses. So it's not this thing that it's not like, okay, oh, you need to go get help or you need to whatever you're thinking. But I gotta go to class. I'm gonna catch you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. And please feel free to share this video with some of your friends, because maybe this video can help them, too. I motivate everybody, if you're not in therapy, to consider it, because it's only going to make you a better person, especially if you have high hopes and you have a positive attitude with it. So I gotta go, but I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, bye.